hours streaming? We have the designs to make your stream look awesome. Owned.tv is the largest
Oh, Guru! It's Thursday night. Welcome to the Impact Zone. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? My name is Jesse, a.k.a. your very own one and only Chitown Smark. What's going on, everybody, man? Who watched the Impact Zone? Better have been you, Susan. Susan, head of talent relations here. I know Susan watched the Impact Zone tonight, right? Don't let me find out upper management in the Taco crew is not watching the required material. Come on, man. Let's get it going. What a night tonight, man. What a night tonight. Steve Macklin kills PCO. Decides to come up with his own challenger for Under Siege. Says we don't need this PCO stuff. I'll pick my own challenger. Gotta say, I kind of agree with him a little bit. All right. We have Decay versus Kenny King and Sheldon Jean. Rich Swann in action tonight, man. We got a lot of stuff going on. Jordynne Grace. Let's get into it, man. How is everybody feeling this evening? Thank you for being here with me tonight to cover the Impact Zone. Man, what a week, man. What a week. I think what we should start doing is maybe recapping the rest of the events that go on in wrestling for the week, you know? Just to kind of have topical discussion about that stuff as well. Or maybe I'll make it another stream. Also have an idea for a members only stream. But we will get into that at another time, man. Let's get into the show. We started off with Mike Bailey versus Chris Sabin. What a match, man. What a match. What can I say? Give me 1 second here. I lost my notes. We don't want to lose the notes. There we go. Got the notes back, man. Match starts off. We get a quick lockup to start off. Bailey gets backed into the corner. Bailey then reverses the spot before he then decides to. They decide to shake hands. They said, you know what? Hold on. We're gonna have our ROH moment here. We gotta respect the ring, all right? Ring of Honor. Shout out to Ring of Honor. I heard they had like 47 matches tonight, Ring of Honor, man. I heard ROH had like a marathon of matches tonight, man. Holy, thank God. Thank God I was not covering that, man. Holy smokes. Sabin catches Bailey's foot for a moment, and then they run around the ring, countering each other until Sabin kicks him while he's on the apron. They go to the outside, they trade chops, and then Sabin works the leg into the ropes. Back into the center. Sabin ties up Bailey's arm. Bailey slips out of it and starts throwing punches. Speedball kind of reminds me of Mike Bailey. Kind of, if you think about it here. Follow me. Bear with me here. All right. Speedball Mike Bailey, right? Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat mixed with the bad guy from Bloodsport. Think about it. Let that sink in for a minute, man. Because I'm telling you, it's right there. It's right there. Mike Bailey runs the ropes and fires back with a single leg drop kick. Basically a Claymore. He hit him with his little version of the Claymore right there. Bailey delivers several more kicks and lands a standing shooting star press for the cover. Kick out. Bailey's left arm when he kicks out with his left arm, and he tried a springboard. Also, springboard. Sabin lands a missile drop kick. Bailey manages to roll up Sabin, and then he kicks, and then he drops the double knees on him. All right. Sabin counters with a tornado kick with his own. Sabin knees Bailey in the head several times before dropping him into a power bomb. Nasty power bomb. Nasty power bomb. Bailey lands a big moonsault out of the ring. They get back inside right away. Sabin catches a foot, but he gets kicked by the other one. Sabin escapes from the Ultimo weapon and then connects with a power bomb off the apron onto the floor. Bailey tries, and that was a nice little thud. He tried to block it by holding onto the rope, but he couldn't. And just a flat thud. He did protect his head, so that was good to see. That was very good to see. I always hate seeing those power spots, like the power bombs and then like the power drivers. Maybe it's just a me thing. I'm always watching out for their head to make sure that they were protected and safe when they went down for the spot. I never want to see anyone get hurt in a match. So, Bailey pops back up. Sabin escapes and then runs back and hits a massive suplex. Sabin hits a clothesline from hell and tries the cradle shock, but Bailey countered with a roll up. They meet again with a flip as Bailey tries for another near fall. Bailey kicks Sabin a couple of times before connecting with the tornado kick. Sabin dodges the Ultimo weapon and hoists him up for the muscle buster. Shout out to Samoa Joe. Sabin hits the cradle shock for the win. Chris Sabin is your winner. Like I said, man, think about it. Liu Kang with a mix of the heel from Bloodsport. That Speedball right there. And it was a damn good match. Tom Phillips said that it was the best match he's ever seen on Access TV. I don't know what to say about that. I know I got some diehards here. You guys tell me. Was that a little bit of an oversell by the guy formerly known as Tom Phillips? Or was he spot on? So, yeah, he said it was one of the best matches he's ever seen on Access TV. Well, all right. Sure enough. All right, we have Decay versus Sheldon Jean and Kenny King. Decay is growing on me. I like Decay. I feel like I've missed the boat on Decay. Maybe I'm wrong on this, but it feels like I'm joining a little bit too late, and I might be missing. I might have missed their heyday, but nonetheless, I'm enjoying what they're doing right now, man. I really am. Nick Aldis is on commentary because he has a match tomorrow with Kenny King. So, Nick Aldis joins commentary. Steve and Gene start the match as Steve does a snap mare and twists his neck with his feet. King tags in to meet Teruse, but ends up getting met with a shoulder block. King ducks to the corner. After the break, we come back. King fires away with punches and then tags in Gene. Teruse gets hit with a single leg drop kick, and King cheers Gene on. Gene kicks Taurus into the King's corner, and they double team him with stumps. King mocks Taurus and then charges the corner. Yeah, man, I don't know. I like Kenny King. And Sheldon Gene is all right, I guess. I'm not really seeing Kenny King as a singles wrestler. It seems like they're trying to portray him as such, but for me, it feels like the two of them might be better in a tag team. Maybe I'm off. I'm just now getting familiar with Kenny King. By the way, if you're new to the stream, that's pretty much the whole thing here. Guys, I am very much a new Impact Wrestling fan. Everything that you hear me talk about here tonight and everything else, it's just my view of it from a newcomer's perspective. As time goes on, I'll feel a little bit more comfortable throwing out some opinions about certain talent and things like that. But we'll get there. King hits a power slam for a cover. Kick out. Gene returns and manages to hit a twisting net breaker. Teruse comes back with a back elbow and reverse sling blade. Teruse headbutts Gene, and then they both tag out. You don't want to get headbutted by Teruse, man. It looks like he could be hiding a brick in that big ass Taurus mask helmet thing. I don't know what the hell that thing is, but I do like Teruse. I do like Teruse. I like Decay. I mean, I'm feeling Decay. I think Crazy Steve is. We'll get into it. Steve strikes King and whips him across for a corner clothesline. Steve cannonballs into the corner. Gene breaks the cover. Decay double teams King with a suplex spot before Teruse flips out onto Gene. Steve bites King in the head, sort of. He sort of bit him. I mean, he looks like he was trying to give the illusion that he was biting him, but he was biting him from a nice, safe distance. I will say that, man. King gets the cover for the win. Kenny King gets the win. Of course he does. He's going to have to look strong for his match against Nick Aldis. Kenny King gets on the mic and is happy that Aldis is front row to see the match. He threatens to send his boot where the sun don't shine on Friday. I'm going to stick my boot where the sun don't shine. I remember hearing old-timey sayings like that back in the day from my grandparents and like my aunts and uncles and all that stuff, man. Put my foot where the sun don't shine. Thought that was real old school. Very, very, very old school. Aldis says King has to work his way up to facing him, not the other way around. Aldis threatens to get in the ring now. He turns and tells commentary, want me to, sure. I actually told the crowd, maybe I should take off my jacket real slow. Get in that ring, with his English accent. I don't have an English accent. I don't want to embarrass myself with a terrible English accent. Why not? Do you want me to get in that ring and come up there and kick? All right, I'm done. All right, tried. Fuck that. Aldis takes off his jacket, heads to the ring. Kenny says, nah, tain't doing this tonight. We will do it at Under Siege. Nick Aldis, man, he just came back to Impact. He was at NWA. There were some slight rumors that he may be coming to AEW, but he chose to go to Impact. And I am very positive that Impact has big plans for Nick Aldis in the World Championship picture when we get to that moment. All right. Crazy Steve ends up eating the pin here. I like Crazy Steve, man. I like Crazy Steve. I like Taurus. God knows I'm a Rosemary mark. And Jessicka as well. I think Jessicka plays her role with Rosemary fantastically. And I'm just kind of sad. I'm kind of sad that I feel like I've missed the heyday of Decay. I think in my free time, I'm going to go back and enjoy some of the stuff that they did, because from the stuff that I have gone back and seen, from what I can tell, Decay pretty much, it looks like, to me at least, they ran this company, a la NWO type style, man. They just kind of just ran a roughshod, which is exactly the kind of stuff I like to see. So I might have to go back and check some more of that stuff out, man. Next up, we have Taylor Wilde versus Jessicka. Here we go, man. We got a Iron Man match coming up right now. Wilde ambushes Jessicka and hits a DDT after King was distracted from the apron. Wilde hit a Witch's Wrath neckbreaker for the quick win. Well, that's over. That's over. I see where they placed Jessicka on the tier list in the Knockouts division. Well, before we get to that match, before that match started, they started in the back, and Jessicka was still in the back waiting for Rosemary to return from the undead realm. In kayfabe, Jessicka was sitting back there for like 3 weeks waiting for Rosemary to come back. Rosemary never came back. Sorry to disappoint. She never came back. The Coven, after the match, ganged up on Jessicka until they cut backstage to the hourglass that was supposed to symbolize when Rosemary was going to come back. But then Rosemary didn't come back. Instead, Courtney Rush returned. Courtney Rush walking out to the ring. Rush takes down King with the head scissors and then locks Wilde in a sharpshooter. King pulls Wilde out and they run to the back. Rush and Jessicka embrace for a hug and they celebrate. For those of you who do not know, Courtney Rush is one of the many, many alter egos of Rosemary. I think it was supposed to be like a feel-good moment. It didn't really pop the crowd very much. From what I can tell, I believe Rosemary is the gimmick. Rosemary is the number one gimmick. Every other gimmick that she has just fails in comparison to Rosemary. So that's probably why I didn't get much of a reaction at the time. But nonetheless, Courtney Rush is back. It looks like we will be getting the Coven versus the Death Dolls, but with Courtney Rush instead of Rosemary at the countdown of the pay-per-view tomorrow. So it should be good, man. Should be good. We have Rich Swann versus Angel of the Design. Rich Swann is coming out with Sami Callihan. Sami Callihan, man, awesome. He's just awesome, man. He is easily the Eddie Kingston / Stone Cold Steve Austin of Impact. And I can respect that, man. So we get a very fast-paced match. Very fast-paced match, man. I mean, if you're familiar with Alan Angels, you know how he works. Rich Swann, we've all seen Rich Swann work in the E. Big fan of his work, man. Good stuff. They keep up a fast pace here. Angels pull Swann out of the ring and sends him into the ring post. Callahan walks out to ringside as Angels and Swann return to the ring. Angels hits a half and half suplex. Swann throws punches, but then gets slammed back down. Swann evades a senton, but then gets hit with a power slam. Swann boots Angels and hits a neck breaker to turn it around. Swann goes to the apron and hits a rolling senton. Okay, yeah, no, we'll come back to that one. Okay. Rich Swann lands a springboard cutter for the near fall. They trade several strikes back and forth until Swann lands a big kick. Swann backflips but lands on Angel's knees because he got his knees up. Angels hits another half and half and then moonsaults out of the ring. Angel goes up for a frog splash, nails it, gets a near fall. Swann kicks Angels on the turnbuckle and then flips him off the top. Swann nails a 450 splash for the win. Rich Swann is so good at what he does. That 450 was epic, man. I remember the Rich Swann, the Rich Swann surge that we got in WWE, and then they quickly just unsurged them, and then he left, and we all know how that story went. But Rich Swann was always good, man. Rich Swann was always good. The Design immediately attacks Swann after the match, at which point Sami Callihan got in the ring instantly with a bet. It's almost like he could not wait. He was waiting for a moment to get into the ring and just start killing fools with his bet. He couldn't wait to go out there and just start whooping some ass. Diener hits Swann with the bet, then strikes Sami in the gut, though. Diener then strikes Sami in the face, and the Design stands tall. Backstage, we got Gia interviewing the Knockouts Women's Champion, Deonna Purrazzo. Champ says she's fine after Jordynne Grace accidentally hit her in the tag match that they had last week. Alisha interrupts and says she will see Jordynne's true colors. Good luck, champ. I don't think she's trying to say right there. What's she trying to get at, man? Does she know something that we don't? Masha Slamovich and Killer Kelly are backstage legit killing each other in catering. They're just back there just beating the shit out of each other in catering, man. There is no chill. Absolutely no chill. They going back and forth. They go through catering. They go all the way to the back. Masha ends up winning that back and forth. She clearly murdered Killer Kelly via chokeout with a damn electrical cord. No one stopped it. No one gave a shit. Even the camera guy was sitting there and watched this lady get choked out with an electrical cord. Killer Kelly died on this evening. That sucks. I thought Killer Kelly was pretty awesome. I guess not. Here we go. Our second Iron Woman match of the night. Alisha Edwards versus Jordynne Grace. Let's get into it, man. Lots of notes here. Alisha strikes Grace in the chest. Then she gets lifted up for an airplane spin that ends with Alisha getting dumped on her face. Jordynne hits the Grace driver for the win. Not gonna lie, I have no idea why this match had to take place. None. None. I'm not sure what the point was, to prove that Jordynne Grace is an unstoppable beast. I think that was very well established. I think that was already established. Nonetheless, about a 30-second match, and that one was over. We have Chris Bay versus John Skyler. Chris Bay, ABC, Bullet Club. John Skyler of the Good Hands. The Good Hands, I don't know too much about at all. I do not. Chris Bay, I've had my eye on, though. Because out of everyone out there, you know, out there in this match, you know, we had both the tag teams out there. Chris Bay is the one that is clearly the star here. It seems that Chris Bay is the clear star out there in the ring right now, and I don't know what they got planned for him, but it seems like the sky's the limit for this guy. They lock up to start. Skyler runs the ropes and does a shoulder block. Bay takes Stryker down for a moment and then drop kicks the left leg to keep him down for a little bit longer. Bay hits a big chop in the corner and then Skyler rolls out. Bay drop kicks him through the ropes. Skyler sneaks up behind and throws Bay into the ring post. That's when Brian Myers distracts. But then we go to the commercial break. Then Skyler goes for a pair of covers and then pivots into a headlock. Bay comes back with a DDT from the apron. Near fall, Skyler gets caught in the ropes but evades an elbow drop. Skyler spears, 2 count. They counter and each other several times until Bay rolls him up. Bay kicks Myers and then hits Art of Finesse for the win. Chris Bay gets the W. Like I said, man, Chris Bay reminds me of a young Seth Rollins out there. I mean, he's just so precise, and he's just so clean in all of his moves, and it comes off as he feels very, very comfortable in everything that he says and does in the ring. It's kind of hard to explain, but I am definitely liking what I'm seeing out of Chris Bay. Tomorrow night, guys, we have Under Siege, and yes, I will be covering it. We have Trinity versus Giselle Shaw. We have Kenny King versus Nick Aldis. We have The Design versus Sami Callihan and Rich Swann and a mystery partner of their choosing. Not sure who that's going to be. We have ABC versus Subculture. Not going to lie, I do not know who Subculture is. I'm not even convinced they're a part of Impact because I have not seen them in the last month. So I'm assuming that has to be some kind of Forbidden Door style match. Trey McGill versus Chris Sabin. Moose versus Eddie Edwards versus Jonathan Gresham versus Yuya Uemura versus Alex Shelley versus Frankie Kazarian for the #1 contenders match. Then we have Deonna Purrazzo versus Jordynne Grace for the Knockouts title. And then we have our final segment of the night and tomorrow night's main event, Steve Maclin versus PCO. All right. So these guys were out here for a while. I mean, Maclin comes out. He wants to come out and he wants to proclaim that he killed PCO last week, which I believed it because I saw what they did to this guy. And he says that, hey, I need a new opponent because PCO is dead. I know he's dead because I killed him. Scott D'Amore comes out. Scott D'Amore comes out to some just baller ass music, dude. This is not the music of like a GM or an owner or a president or, you know, whatever his title is. He comes out to some just you hear this music, you think like some badass is coming out. No, it's the owner of the company. Hi. You know, I think his music was a little dark for him, but I digress. So Scott D'Amore comes out. Him and Steve Maclin have a back and forth. I guess D'Amore was supposed to come out and shake his hand after he won that title. And D'Amore said, I guess he said, fuck that. He didn't want to do that. And he said, okay, well, I'll make you another deal. Scott D'Amore said. He said, if you win this match, what did he say? He said, no, I think it was Maclin. Maclin said, if I win this match, I want you to come out and put the title around my waist personally, And Scott D'Amore said, okay, fine, whatever. We'll do that. Like Scott D'Amore had some kind of secret ace up his sleeve or something like that he didn't want to reveal yet. And then Maclin caught on to that and he said, well, hold on for a damn minute. You never said who my opponent was, because remember, I killed PCO. D'Amore says, that's right. I didn't say who your opponent was. Your opponent is going to be PCO. And PCO comes out. He teleported to the ring somehow. So he teleported to the ring, and then the champion, went scurrying away and, all this other shit. And he beat up everyone else. Am I alone here? Am I alone here with this PCO character, man? I feel like it's definitely run its course. I've only been here watching for a month, and it already feels like PCO does not need to be in the world title picture with a champion that they're trying to establish early on. If they're trying to establish Steve Maclin as a world champion instead of being a forgotten son, I don't think putting him in a feud with PCO is the best move. I mean, especially when they have him running from him and trying to get out of his match with him and trying to evade him at all costs. I'm sorry, man. He looks like he is not in Steve Maclin's league at all. Maclin, say what you want about him and where he came from and what he did before, but at the very least, where he is right now, he looks like a killer. Steve Maclin. He looks like a champion. He looks great. But in a match with PCO, I don't think it's helping his title reign at all. Again, let me preface that with, this is just my view as I look at it as a new viewer of Impact. To me, it looks like clearly they're trying to get Steve Maclin to Nick Aldis. It looks like that's going to be the first real world title feud that has any chance of changing hands, but I'm not quite sure what they're doing with PCO at what is he, like, he's damn near 60 years old, and they have people running from him and selling for him and everything else. I just don't think it's a good look. I really don't, man. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, the gimmick is fine. I get it. I understand it. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with the gimmick for me. It's just that I can't see him in that gimmick in the world title picture. I just don't think it was a good opponent for Steve Maclin. His first opponent was Rhino, and now his second opponent is PCO. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. Who's his third opponent? Ric Flair? I mean, come on, man. Give this guy a title reign he can sink his teeth into. Again, I'm just joining. Maybe there's something going on that I don't know about PCO that I should know that would make me feel differently about him. I don't know, man. I'm just not really feeling it myself. Let's do a quick preview and predictions real quick. We have Trinity versus Giselle Shaw. Duh. We have Kenny King versus Nick Aldis. I'm going to say another duh because Nick Aldis is not losing that match. We have The Design versus Sami Callihan, Rich Swann, and a mystery partner. If I'm going to take a stab at this one, I'm going to say Rich and Sami and the mystery partner. I can't foresee them bringing in a mystery partner to lose. So don't know who it is, but I'm going to go with Sami and Rich and the mystery partner. We have ABC versus the Subculture. I don't know who the Subculture is, but I know ABC is over. I'm going to go with ABC. Trey McGill versus Chris Sabin. I'm going to go with Trey McGill. He seems to be the guy that they're trying to go with. Seems like he's still trying to get over as a heel because he seems like a natural babyface, but we'll see. But it appears to me that Chris Sabin has seen his day with that title, and this is Trey McGill's time. I'm going to go with Trey McGill on that one. Moose versus Eddie Edwards versus Jonathan Gresham versus Yuya Uemura versus Alex Shelley versus Frankie Kazarian. Winner gets a title match against Steve Maclin. I'm going to go with my boy Frankie Kazarian here. I think that's the reason that they were giving Frankie all of these promo packages and things like that, and, you know, talking it up like this could be his last run. I think we see Frankie in the world title picture here, as he's probably, I'm assuming this, probably looking like he's trying to wind down his career. We have Deonna Purrazzo versus Jordynne Grace. Interesting stipulation here. If Jordynne Grace loses, she is not allowed to challenge for the Knockouts title as long as Deonna Purrazzo is champion. All right. This is interesting. But I think I'm going to stick with Deonna Purrazzo for right now. It appears to me that they probably want to stick with that title reign a little bit longer. And if the story is Jordynne Grace cannot get another title shot as long as Deonna is champion, I think that could lead to Jordynne Grace then constantly trying to make sure that Deonna Purrazzo loses her title matches so that she can get another title shot down the road. I'm going to go with the champion on this one. And Steve Maclin versus PCO. We're going to go with Steve Maclin for the W right there. Guys, very straightforward show. Nothing complex, nothing crazy. As far as go-home shows go, it was very mild. I will say that much. Especially leading into, well, I guess all go-home shows lead into a pay-per-view, so there's duh for that one. But I am interested in the pay-per-view. This is my first full-fledged pay-per-view as I've been reviewing Impact. I want all of you guys to join me because I will cover the pay-per-view tomorrow night. If you are not subscribed to Access TV on YouTube, and you want to watch, you should, guys. It's only $1 a month. I know some of you actually did not know that. It's literally $1 a month. That's, let me see, quick maths, $12 a year. Quick maths. Hop on board, man. Follow along, because overall, I like what I'm seeing here. It's not perfect. It's never going to be perfect. No promotion is going to be perfect. So I will sit here and I will pick apart the things that are not perfect, and I will call out the great things that are happening at the same time. Guys, that is it for today's show. Thank you so much for joining me. What am I doing? I have super chats, baby. Starting with Greg Goldman with the $20 super chat, man. No message, bro. Greg Goldman is a very loyal supporter of this channel, and I will sing Greg Goldman's praises right here because he did not leave a message. I want to thank you, Greg Goldman, for being one of my day oneers. I appreciate you. The Script Keeper with the 2-month membership says, hey, Jesse, finally an Impact review from the Taco King himself. 2 months Taco Crew member and ready for many months to come. Taco Crew for life. Script Keeper, same for you, man. Another day oneer, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Tony Brown with the $4.99 says, more booty meat, please. Tony Brown, I am finding that Impact can definitely satisfy your need for booty meat, sir. Big time. I hope you're enjoying it, man. I hope you are enjoying it. 10 May with the 11-month membership says, hi, Jesse. Hi, 10 May. By the way, guys, new emotes coming very, very soon. Promise you. P Mac with the $5 super chat says, sipping on some vanilla Crown Royal with vanilla Coke. Listen to Chitown Smark. P Mac, that's the way you do it, bruh. That's the way you do it, bruh. Much appreciated. Greg Goldman back again with the $10 super chat. Saying, hey, Jesse, just show some love, brother. I can't get into Impact. Greg Goldman, I appreciate you, man. And let me tell you something. Give it a shot. Give it a shot. Just like anything else, it's going to take time to get into it. But give it a shot and you never know. You never know, bro. I did. Let's see. We have the Script Keeper with the $5 super chat says, Subculture is Mark Andrews and Morgan Webster. They are Impact talent. They are? They are? No one's mentioned them before tonight. I don't know. I didn't know that, man. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I missed it, man. It very well could have been me. I mean, so I would not, it could be me. Guys, that is today's show. Shout out to my boy Osaqui. I see you, brother. Thank you so much. Shout out to the mods out there doing what you guys do. I appreciate you all. Man, what a show for me, man. You guys have no idea how my night has gone. But I will see you guys all tomorrow night for Under Siege live post-show right here on the channel. Thank you guys so much. Peace.